What's up, everybody? It's your boy Shock of the Dynasty Hedgehog here, and we are going to take on the Greenwood Rillabooms in this Week 2 APA Ascension. Week 2 Team Builder. If you guys are excited, leave a like. If you haven't already, subscribe if you're new. Join the Shock crew today because you're living with the king of the crew. So with that being said, let's get into the video. Sorry, I'm a little random. It's in the mornings right now, this is a bit of a tough matchup here, but this matchup kind of looks a little bit in my favor in terms of the mods I have versus the team he has and what he's forced to bring and what he can't bring. But yeah, with that being said, let's go into discussion here. His team consists of Latios, Manectric, Vaporeon, Lucario, Hippowdon, Roserade, Swellow, and Scizor, and Shiftry. Now, looking at his team here, it's kind of obvious exactly what 6 he has to bring. You really look at his team, there is no fire resist on this team. There is no fire type on this team. So, a lot of things to kind of play into big factor. However, there is a Stealth Rocker on this team, and Stealth Rocks are annoying for my draft here. But it's not the end of the world type of thing. Also, there's Toxic Spikes. I don't really care about Toxic Spikes all that much this matchup. I can get rid of them. Spikes are somewhat annoying. They're not end of the world though. But I might make one little switch to one of my mods if I have to make that work. And everything like that. So actually I might do that actually before we get into the battle. But anyways, um just looking at the matchup here, there's just a lot of my team that can just do a lot. And versus the team he has, like, I feel like he can't bring Shiftry. I have really good counters to Shiftry on my draft, and he just really can't do much against it. Scizor is not the steel type I see him bring to this matchup. Again, he cannot bring so many Pokemon weak to fire. You look at his team right now, he has about half of his team weak to fire. And when he comes to resist, he only has 2. But you may be asking yourself, why am I not bringing Fernape? I'll get into that in a little bit. But for the team I expect him to bring, I do think Swellow can fit on this team. I actually should have probably prepped a little bit for Swellow, but it is what it is right now. Swellow is very, very annoying versus our team. It's very, very fast. It's very offensive. But I feel like a part of him can't bring it because I want to give you guys a little bit of a little bit of a kind of a little theory here. I'm going to show you exactly how this drafting would work and how you should prep for. You're gonna look at his team right now, and you look. He still has this boost from the Gen 7 thing that they did with Swellow, which is really good. I really like the fact of this. But here's the thing: Swellow loses Heat Wave, so it can't touch Pokemon on my team in a specific manner. It is very annoying, and I'm actually gonna double check some calcs after this. Actually, just realizing that how Swellow can be against my team. But I do have some resist and I have some walls towards Swellow, so he might have to think about not bringing that. But to really realistically talk about it, there's only like one mon on this team I could see him being swapped out for Swellow. But for the main 5, I'm gonna say comes. I definitely think Latios comes. Latios is very defensively and very annoying versus my draft. I definitely think he has to bring that and bring it more towards a kind of physically defensive, like max HP, max defense set to really kind of take some hits and deal with some damage. Um, excuse me. Just because of that, I think he kind of does need to bring Manectric. Manectric is kind of really good against my team. Obviously, Rapier is an issue, but he's got so much of his team that really counters my Rapier. I'm kind of forced not to bring it. I do expect Scarf Manectric as well because Scarf Manectric outspeeds my lower tier Scarfers and outspeeds my +1 Mons with Volts with having Quiver and all that, and also outspeeds Shaman, which can actually provide a really good assistance for his team. So I just overall think his team is very much going to be really good offensively with Manectric. The speed tier gap, I think he has to bring like a kind of more towards physically defensive, but almost towards especially a little bit of a especially defensive, but more towards physically defensive Vaporeon. Actually, I did not check if Vaporeon got Roar this game. Okay, did get Roar. One of the things I did look up with this team is of things that can toxic, things that can do this and that, and a lot of his team actually cannot use the the move toxic. So in my mindset, I went with that and stuff like that. So we was really thinking that through. But Vaporeon, even though it can't use Toxic and it can't use Heal Bell, you're gonna see I was gonna go with a bit of a strategy with that actually. But I actually went against that strategy because I don't learn the move myself. You know, the same why. But there was a strategy I was gonna try to do eventually with it and kind of take advantage, but I can't. But honestly, Vaporeon, really good Pokemon. Gives Wish, can protect. It can just really be annoying for my team. Lucario, it's gonna be really hard to say what Lucario set we're gonna see this week. I'm fully expecting special Lucario with Vacuum Wave Nasty Plot for two reasons. One, Vacuum Wave priority really can hurt Cloyster. So Cloyster is like in a position that if I Shell Smash with Cloyster, I can't realistically stay in against Cloyster. Stay in after I Shell Smash. And the thing is too, he can't just switch in on Cloyster because if Cloyster he switches in on Cloyster and Cloyster doesn't Shell Smash and he gets chipped, that puts him in a very kind of predicament position here. But again, Nasty Plot, I think it has to come. Nasty Plot is super good against me. I think dual fighting with or Spear or Focus Blast, if he wants to be real and run Focus Blast. And the Vacuum Wave, or no, I mean, it's got to be Nasty Plot, Vacuum Wave, Flash Cannon, because I think he needs a really good stab move if it's not fighting. So he can hit Venom Off, and I think Dark Pulse. And the main reason why I say Dark Pulse is that it's a move that can actually be able to check Slowbro. Because if Slowbro's there, Slowbro can just wall Lucario if it's physical or special if he does not have Dark Pulse. So that's something that really much took in consideration with that. We have Hippowdon. I think Hippowdon's going to be kind of mixed defensive. I think it's going to lean towards more as a specially defensive set than physically defensive. But I think overall, Hippowdon is going to be a little annoying for our draft to have to deal with. But it's not too much of an annoyance. I do have some things I can kind of just sit in front of Hippowdon and just do some things. Obviously, there's also Roserade. Roserade can be really annoying if it's a hazard lead, of its hazard stacking. I do expect Hippowdon to have rocks. I do expect the Roserade to guarantee be dual. I think Roserade's definitely going to be Sleep Powder to speed tie with Venomoth. I'm actually taking our spoilers. I am obviously bringing Venomoth, but I'm not speed tying with that. Roserade has to come. I think dual stab makes a lot of sense for it, and then it can be dual spikes, or it could just be spikes slash and or spikes and then sleep powder. It could be leech seed and spikes. Just like a lot of things to kind of factor with that. But overall, I think his team is relatively good, but I think we have the better matchup here. But again, I don't count my chickens before they hatch. So let's go over the team that we are bringing this week and stuff like that. First up, making her debut is the lovely Shay Bay, the Shay Men here, with Seed Flare, Dazzling Gleam, Psychic, and Synthesis, also known as Amy Rose here. Because if you watch Sonic, Flower, Hedgehog, Pink Flower, you know where we're going with this. But Shaman honestly can really tend his team. I really wanted to run Life Orb. We do have enough HP for Life Orb, and Life Orb I think would most likely guarantee the 2 AKOs we needed on certain Pokemon such as Latios and stuff like that. But I kind of felt to myself that I don't realistically need to do that unless they're carrying recovery items of themselves. But overall, Shaman's really good in this matchup. Shaman puts on a lot of offensive pressuring, forcing switchings and stuff like that. Shaman's just overall a very good Pokemon. I really think Shaman has a lot going for it in this matchup. It provides 2 AKOs or one shots at specific ranges, which is really nice. Shaman just really looked really good in this matchup. We have enough speed to outspeed Lucario in the 90s and below, which is really good there as well. And just overall, the rest went to HP for bulk and then max special attack. Like I said, Shaman, very good offensively this matchup. I think defensively could have also been really good, but I think offensive Shaman, which I kind of like a little bit more in some matchups, are really better. And I think that's what Shaman does. Now, we're bringing it, everybody. We're bringing King's Rock Cloyster. I know everyone was wanting to see it. We are running Jolly Cloyster to outspeed Choice Scarf Manetric. This also lets me outspeed a max speed Timid Latios, which is really good as well. But mostly for the Manetric, because I think the Manetric is the only one I can see being Scarfed this matchup. There is no way I see a Latios being Scarfed unless he's that scared of potentially the Venomoth and the Haunch Crow, if anything. That's the only way I see it being scarred. Excuse me. In that type of regard there. We are rocking standard shell smash. I did decide to run Razor Shell on this for two reasons. One, I want to be able to hit Lucario for some damage in that respective. Um, and again, the goal here is to not set up immediately. If we set up immediately, well, first off, we're really not really mattering. Like, let's say it's Vaporeon 1v1 in Cloyster right now. I Shell Smash up. Cloyster is now in a position to kind of either get a KO or force the Lucario to come in and hopefully live either the Icicle Spear or the Rock Blast that we have to go for and go from there. I do have. Excuse me. Excuse me, guys. I do expect Cloyster just put in a lot of work. King's Rock is only there strictly for the Vaporeon. It really, really is. And that's what's kind of sad, I'm not gonna lie, about this, is that we have to use this for um the Vaporeon and stuff like that. So I really think Cloyster is really good here, though. I think offensive Cloyster is just really, really good, and looking forward to it. Up next, we have Vasilios, our Venomoth, and Vasilios is incredible this game. Tinted Lens Bug Buzz just kind of wrecks everything. We are running Quiver Dance, Bug Buzz, Sleep Powder, and Substitute. Realistically speaking, Bug Buzz is all I really need. Bug Buzz, again, with the Tinted Lens, is going to do good works against things like Lucario. It's going to do good things against things like Roserade. And just offensively, is so good. Once we set up a sub, though, and the Roserade can't go for Sleep Powder on us, Roserade doesn't do anything against me. Roserade can't do anything against me. Special Lucario most likely wouldn't be able to do anything if I start quivering dancing up, and because that's really good there as well. Just overall, I think just Venomoth was so good this matchup. I decided to take the gamble though, and not run max speed to speed tie or anything, because I feel like for one, he may not possibly run speed ties himself. Unless he wants with Lucario and all that, which would make sense. But I feel like when it comes to speed ties, I feel like speed ties would not be a thing with the Roserade. Because for one, I don't think Roserade sometimes is that Pokemon you want to really run like a lot of speed on stuff like that. You want to kind of run lower towards a little bit of bulk and a little bit more towards the offensive side, unless you're bringing like a very fat defensive assault vested type of Roserade type of thing. So there is that. But again, Venomoth is just super good this game. Venomoth literally just puts in so much work this game. It really, really does. And I'm really hoping Venomoth pops off this week. Carrying back one of the MVPs from last week, being UFO on the Magna Zone, we are running Choice Scarf once again because I feel like I was relatively good this matchup. Volt Switch, Flash Cannon, Light Screen, and Thunderbolt. You can see we have the Light Screen there. It's kind of a bit of a mid-tech item to kind of use this game just because, again, he does have a good amount of special offensive threats. So I think having Light Screen on here was really, really good in terms of that. Volt Switch plus Flash Cannon and Thunderbolt hit a lot of things on his team. I am not going to freely click Electric Move against most of his draft. And again, there's 10 times out of 10, he's never gonna bring Vaporeon on me unless he knows I'm Specs and if he knows I'm Scarf. But being analytic, I can bluff that I can be Specs potentially or Modest. If I can just bluff that I am Modest because I'm gonna hit extremely hard. Flash Cannon is a relatively, I'm pretty sure, a 2 AKO on Manectric, and I do live any one hit from Manectric unless it's Overheat Manectric instead of Flamethrower Manectric, which I think is something to note there. But overall, Magnezone looks so good against his team. Flash Cannon should relatively 2 KO Latias unless it is like max HP. Then, unless we're in Spadef drops, we're not 2 KO it. I do, again, the reason why I do expect more of a especially defensive Latios is just because of the fact that Latios, oh no, Latios, my bad. Latios is just really defensive, and I think Roost Latios is really good, and like, it can be scarfed this matchup, which I'm kind of leaning towards. So Magnezone has guaranteed speed control and can help pinpoint the Scarfer, which I think 100% is going to be the Manectric, but it helps with also speed control in this matchup and just start denting things in as a team, which is really good here. Also making his debut this week is going to be my man Haunch, the Haunch Crow. If you guys don't know, I named this Haunch because my good buddy Haunch, I forgot any numbers and things he had in his name, so I hate it here sometimes. But Haunch is really, really good. In this matchup, we are running Jolly. Bit of a weird little bit set here. It's kind of jolly with a little bit of defensive investment and also just a really offensive mon, which is really good. Haunch with Drill Peck, Raybird, Night Slash, and Sucker Punch, 116 HP, max attack, and 140 speed. The speed lets me guarantee that I have plus with having a Choice Scarf. I do outspeed everything on his team. Obviously, the only thing I cannot theoretically outspeed is Manectric, because I'm always going to assume Manectric is Choice Scarf in this matchup. We do have enough speed again, like I said, for Tepid Max Speed Latias. So again, we have guaranteed speed control in this matchup, except around the Manectric. Until Manectric goes down, we do not have full speed control with this lovely bird of the Mafia. But the reason why I'm also running Drill Peck instead of maybe something else for coverage and stuff like that, Drill Peck is just super good in this matchup. I think having Drill Peck can just really do a lot of work. Night Slash is also really good. Theoretically speaking, Dark Spam can really go in this matchup. Um, and just can put on a lot of offensive pressure against his team, which is really, really good. And I think it just provides just a really good offensive breaker for this matchup as well, which is good. We are obviously running Moxie because Moxie boosts are really good. I did put Sucker Punch on there, and for those who don't know, I generally don't like running Sucker Punch just because of the fact that I don't. I mean, I see it as a move, but it's a move I just don't ever really click because I just don't think it's that. I mean, it's a good move, don't get me wrong, but I just don't see like a value of putting it on there unless I absolutely think I needed it. Like obviously, I absolutely needed it with Cinderace that one game, which I'm glad I put it on there. And every time I put Sucker Punch on there, it's never been a bad thing. So here's knocking on wood that it's going to do the same thing again, where it's not going to fail me. And last but not least, also making the debut is these Utters of the Miltank here. And Miltank single-handedly can just win this game. His normal switch in is non-existent except for a Scizor, but Scizor, once I start cursing, cannot do anything to me. And this is where I was talking about the whole idea of Toxic, because I was hoping Miltank still had Toxic. It sadly does not, because I was actually playing since the Miltank, since the Vaporeon did not have Heal Bell, and it would have only been the Aromatherapy potentially from Roserade, but it would force Roserade to bring it, and I wouldn't think Roserade would bring that because it would just cripple the move slot for Roserade, in my opinion. But I just generally think Miltank just really goes in on this team. We are running a very specially defensive with a little bit of an offensive set here, but this is mostly specially defensive to take on the special types on his team. The goal is to set up one or two curses and then just start clicking attacks unless I can start seeing myself setting up for specific reasons. If anyone wonders if I ever potentially will just set up and just go from there, I'm not going to, and I actually think I'm going to take a little bit of a risk and actually run Facade on this set, just because of the fact I could get burned by Skulls of Vaporeon if he's not going to roar me out, which is very important to note there. And plus, this can actually get in a burn. If I can get in the burn, that's really, really good. Obviously, it hurts Earthquake and hurts the offensive capability of wanting to do Earthquake against things like Lucario and stuff like that. But overall, I think Miltank is just so good this matchup. Curse Miltank is something I actually do like because of the fact that you can just have Miltank for recovery, Heal Bell to get rid of statuses if it needs to. It does force it to kind of run only one move if it runs this set, obviously. But luckily, since I can run this set, it does so much. So I think Miltank really, really good here. 176 in HP, 8 in defense, and 208 with the Careful Nature is our investment for the bulk. Again, this isn't strictly meant to be specially defensive in this matchup, so that's something to really note there. I do take the gamble that if he does not see the leftovers, that more likely I could be a berry, I could be potentially an offensive item, potentially. I do know I take that risk because most of the times you see leftovers on Miltank, but Miltank just super good in this game. I really think Miltank's an awesome on this game, and I really think it's going to put in the work. So, yeah, that's going to be the team, guys. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'm feeling really confident that we can pick up a second week here. It's an 8-week season, so any wins we can get are really massive right now. I believe we pick up 4 wins. There is a possibility, unless it's top 6 out of 12 coaches, which could be a possibility. A 4-4 record could potentially sneak us in there as long as we have decent differential. But again, it's just a hit or miss type of thing there. But yeah, I'm feeling very good about this team, and I'm feeling really good about this matchup. But yeah, like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Till next time, guys.